record. Hello, and welcome to the first of many, many G1 Climax 26 commentaries, or whatever you want to call it. I'm Caleb.
I'm Blake.
And I'm Blinky.
And, I don't know if this would be qualified as a Ringtrax or a Yardtard or something, but either way, yeah, so we decided, you know what, this would be a pretty good thing to do, you know, just, to have some more content out there. So, let's see how this goes.
This is for you, the people. This is day one of the G1 Climax. We're watching the A block kickoff at the Hokkaido Prefectural Sports Center in Hokkaido, Japan.
Yes. And if you have New Japan Pro Wrestling World, or if you're using a completely legal way of watching it, we are hopefully Blake will have like a picture of the thing that's on right now, so they'll give you a starting place.
Yep.
Maybe. So yeah, just stop right there, and when I say play with us.
Okay.
Or, actually, watch with us, rather.
Let's enjoy this spectacle,
Alright,
folks.
you guys ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, play.
Power bomb.
There's Mr. G1. There's Kijimuto.
The late, great Shinya Hashimoto. And what we're seeing is just a montage of all the great competitors that have won this G1 Climax tournament since it began in 1991. It has had a few predecessors throughout the 80s. The original International Wrestling Grand Prix was one of them, but this is the big one. This is the tournament of all wrestling tournaments. It happens every August throughout Japan.
It has produced many great matches of the year. And there's last year's winner, Hiroshi Tanahashi. There's his unfortunate incident where he broke the flag.
And we're ready for the very first night of this tournament. And there will be many nights ahead of this tournament. It's a round robin tournament, and here's everybody competing in the A block. Of course, you have the defending champion, perhaps the greatest of his era, Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace of New Japan,
Who is coming back from a shoulder injury.
That's Togi Makabe of Great Bash Heel. He himself is a former winner of this tournament. Representing Bullet Club, and he's not the only Bullet Club member in this block, the underboss Bad Luck Fale, along with Tama Tonga, one of Haku's kids.
His adopted son.
Now, Michino Marufuji, the franchise player of Pro Wrestling Noah, also in this block, as is the biggest signing of 2016 for the company, Sonata. And this really one of the great stories of this block. When Hiroyoshi Tenzan found out initially that he wasn't going to be in what would have been his 20th G1 Climax tournament, his longtime tag team partner Satoshi Kojima gave his spot to Tenzan for what could be his very last G1 Climax.
He confirmed it. It is his last.
Yes, so we are in...
Oh, boy.
And now representing Chaos, the hitman of Chaos himself, Tomohiro Ishii,
Stone Pitbull.
and their newest recruit, the Daredevil of Chaos himself, Hiroki Goto. And we cap off this block with the two-time G1 champion and the current IWGP Heavyweight champion, Kazuchika Okada.
The Rainmaker.
Out of this block, who would you expect, starting on day one, to come away representing the A block in the final round in August?
Oh God, there's no way. With how stacked this is, there's no way to say.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many people that could be there. I mean, there's of course Okada, who obviously as champion, he is the odds-on favorite. There's also, gosh, I can't really
Tanahashi.
say.
Ishii, well,
Yeah.
Ishii's got a big chance. The last 2 years for Ishii has been probably his best so far.
Yes, Tomohiro
Yeah.
Ishii, one of the great late bloomers in pro wrestling in modern times.
Of course, there's the rest of the card.
Yes, what you're seeing is like the 4 tag team matches that will precede your A block matches that will count towards the tournament. Some of these wrestlers that you will see in these tag team matches actually compete in the second block, the B block, and they are getting some action in while the A block competes for points in the round robin tournament. So every wrestler will compete against one another at least once, and the wrestler with the most points will advance to the final match on August as the A block representative or the B block representative. And in the case of a tie, we will determine the winner by head-to-head records.
Yes. And of course, whoever wins the final match will get a number 1 contender shot at the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom 11. So, yeah. This tournament is a big, big deal. For a multitude of reasons.
Yeah.
Calls back comparisons to the old King of the Ring, where whoever won the King of the Ring got a WWE title shot.
Of course,
You
this
okay?
tournament did precede King of the Ring.
Yep.
Yeah.
The opening declaration of this first night at the G1 Climax has begun. It is a crowd of what is reported to be 5,500 in attendance at the Hokkaido Prefectural Sports Center. This is a pretty good crowd, a decent-sized arena, and we're about to start this first match. It is an 8-man tag, and we have the first participant of the first of our teams, someone who has competed in the bleed block, the perennial underdog story since his first G1 Climax appearance a couple years ago, Tomoaki Honma.
Yeah.
The man with a voice that's as soothing as razor blades against your throat.
Yeah.
And Captain fucking New Japan.
Captain New Japan, the kind of mascot character, the fucking weapon Ryusuke Taguchi, the ace of the junior heavyweight division Kushida, who is your reigning junior heavyweight champion, and of course the team captain in the bleed block this year, Tomoaki Honma. And Oma's rise to popularity in New Japan, really one of the more interesting stories, because he got to start wrestling in death matches. He was the first guy to innovate the light tube bump. And he wrestled in deathmatch for so many years. He wrestled in All Japan in the mid-2000s. And now, kind of, as he's hitting his 40s, he's at the peak of his popularity.
Yeah.
The rest of the team, Captain New Japan, Taguchi Ryusuke, a former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, the current Junior Heavyweight Champion, Kushida, who I believe won this year's Best of the Super Juniors in the final match against Will Ospreay. And the captain, the innovator of the Kokashi headbutt.
The man who is slowly losing his hair.
Slowly losing his hair. Once stripped of all of his clothes on the Japanese game show. I highly recommend watching the clip of Jushin Thunder Liger trying to pin some of his fellow wrestlers while they're asleep.
Oh, that's so good.
And just as a minor spoiler, he does get Hanma for a 3 count. and And then as he's pulling back the covers, we realize that he's not wearing anything. To the other team,
He
which
was
is
going
captained
full
by
commando.
the captain of this other team is Katsuyori Shibata, who is also wrestling in the B block this year.
The master of the PK.
Who has rose up the ranks, like, quite a bit.
He had probably one of the best matches I've ever seen at Wrestle Kingdom. A 10 against Tomohiro Ishii.
Yes, like he may have kicked Tomohiro Ishii's jaw into like 5 places at one point with that one drop kick.
Oh Christ!
Shibata's yes, and
kicks were
he's
nuts.
pissed.
Yeah. Oh.
And here is
Liger.
his team: Jushin Thunder Liger, Tiger Mask, and Manabu Nakanishi. So Shibata has paired himself with 3 long-time mainstays of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
Of course, Liger and Tiger Mask IV have been around the junior heavyweight division many times, have won the title in the junior heavyweight division many times. Manabu Nakanishi has been around a long time himself.
Liger's coming towards the end of what he's calling his 5 years of repayment, where after the 5th year he retires and goes to teach at the New Japan Dojo.
Which is great. And of course, part of that 5 years of repayment included a very surprise appearance on an NXT TakeOver show.
Yeah.
Which is
With a crowd fell in love with him.
This match about to begin the first of 4 tag team matches in the first half of our opening show for the G1 Climax tournament as a whole. And it looks like it's going to be the team captains to face off against each other.
Oh boy.
To start this match. 2 heavyweights on either team, 2 junior heavyweights on either team.
Oh, here we go.
Katsuyori Shibata and Tomoaki Yama are 2 people that I think we could both agree we could watch them fight forever.
Yep.
Yeah.
These 2 men hit hard, and they hit often. Traditional exchange of forearm strikes. These 2 men, of course, former never openweight champions, which has become a brand of wrestling all to itself. It is. I liken it to a hardcore match, only instead of using like steel chairs or tables, like the foreign objects are other people's bodies. Oh, going for the Kokashi early. Already, they're trying to finish each other off right off the bat.
Yeah.
But they know each other's moves. They've scouted each other. They've faced off against each other a number of times. And the first tag of the match.
And in comes Tiger Mask.
Tiger Mask the 4th. And he is the longest running Tiger Mask to hold the moniker. And of course he's of course succeeding the likes of Seiya Sanada, the first Satoru Sanada. The original Tiger Mask, whose name just completely escapes me at this moment. And then the next 2, Mitsuharu Misawa and Koji Kanemoto. So this Tiger Mask has had a stern reputation to uphold, and by God, for about 15 years, he's been doing it pretty well.
Yeah.
You also see the reigning IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, Kushida, getting into the match.
Kushida, of course, one half of the Time Splitters. With Alex Shelley.
Yes. Came out as Marty McFly for his Wrestle Kingdom match with Ryusuke Taniguchi as Doc, which was just great.
Yeah, that was awesome. Oh, here we go.
Oh, big outside dive.
How old is Tiger Mask the Fourth?
Tiger Mask is already in his mid-40s, but you couldn't tell with the way he just pulled that clean, crisp dive to the outside out.
He's aged well. Both him and Liger have aged really well.
Here comes Liger. Oh.
He's getting ready to stretch him out. Romero special incoming.
Oh, boy.
This is one of Liger's signature maneuvers.
Oh.
And it looks so good.
Awesome surf. Oh. Alright, now he's got a chin lock with that.
Yusuke Tadaguchi coming to the aid of his longtime friend and rival in the junior heavyweight division. Double team maneuver. We're going to see the dreaded drop toe hold. No, drop. No, we are not. It's a springboard elbow from Kushida.
Awesome move there.
Here comes the funky weapon.
Taguchi in this match now with the hip attacks. He does not call them the rear view.
Oh, here we go.
Taguchi, a really entertaining personality and somebody who's been around the junior heavyweight division now for over a decade. A multiple-time junior heavyweight champion.
Was once in a tag team with former New Japan Pro Wrestling competitor Fergal Devitt, otherwise known as Finn Balor.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it was the breakup of Devitt and Taguchi that spawned the Bullet Club.
Yes.
Which arguably is the reason why Devitt, Balor, whatever you want to call him, is in WWE. And why we have Gallows and Anderson in WWE.
Liger going for a rope break there as Kushida tried to lock in that double wrist lock submission maneuver of his that's put away so many competitors just over the last couple of years alone. Kushida great at submissions, great at high flying, and he tags in Oma, who delivers that heavy, hard forehead of his right to the left arm of Jushin Liger.
And now working the arm. And
getting ready to...
Captain New... Oh.
They just leave Captain New Japan high and dry. Captain New Japan...
Come on, tag him in! Oh, come on!
Captain New Japan himself has billed himself as a Bullet Club headhunter. Oh, there are no Bullet Club members in this match, though.
No?
Especially with how... Which is shocking, especially how large that freaking group is right now.
They continue to leave Captain New Japan high and dry, but this triple team offense of the members that they are rotating in and out is really working.
Yeah?
They're isolating Liger, who has years and years of experience, just keeping him in their corner of the ring, unable to make the tag.
Of course, fans of Ringtrax will have seen Liger in action against Hayabusa in our Hayabusa tribute. That was so long ago.
Oh goodness, yes.
And now, nice tilt-a-wall backbreaker. Now tags in Honma.
Now here we go.
Here comes Shibata. Oh!
Big kick. Katsuyori Shibata's kicks are lethal.
And extremely legendary. They've started to gain something of a legend.
And the thing is, of course, Shibata has had an interrupted career in pro wrestling. For many years, he tried his art as an MMA fighter, leaving in the mid-2000s to pursue his MMA career when he was probably destined to be one of the top stars in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Then came back in 2012, and his popularity has really surged. Oh, big
my God! Right to the eye.
Those kind of kicks hurt.
Though during the time of his return, he did have he was hated by some of the top stars, including Hiroshi Tanahashi. as he pretty much blamed him for leaving them high and dry during New Japan's down period.
The trough years.
Mm-hmm.
Shibata, of course, as Mauro Ranallo mentioned many times on New Japan on Axis TV, models his style after the controversial Akira Maeda. Just a very straightforward wrestler whose strikes will really, really do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Oh, but there's Hama with a big lariat.
And
Hits the Kokushi.
Oh! Kokushi!
How many memories has Hama already made in a
And
couple of
finally!
G1 Climax appearances? And here comes Captain New Japan in his black and green attire.
Which looks amazing.
New Japan really not backing down from Shibata. In fact, I think he's got Shibata stunned. Oh, but then
Oh,
he
no!
comes back
Speaking of
with
stunned.
the mother of all forearms.
It's almost an elbow strike.
Just dropped Captain New Japan where he stood, and now here comes Nakanishi.
Manabu Nakanishi, a big, strong man, actually
Oh.
wrestled in the '92 Olympics. As an amateur, he himself a former IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
Once went to WCW where I believe he was United States Champion. I may be wrong.
Just looking at it, I do not see a U.S. Heavyweight Champion in his record books. But he is
okay.
a former IWGP Heavyweight Champ, a 3-time Tag Champ, and a former winner of the G1 Climax in '99. So there is a lot of experience already in this first tag team match.
Yeah. Oh. Wanna try
Pissing
that again,
Shibata
or-
off is all they're doing.
So already we're seeing these two teams, and this team of Alma, Kushida, Taguchi, and yeah, they're just really pouring on this multi-man offense. And now they're starting to lose control of this match.
Yeah. Chaos happening here at here in this match.
And if you've ever played
Oh.
an Aki-programmed wrestling game for the Nintendo 64, whenever you break up a tag and then the match just descends into chaos, this is kind of what it's like. Captain New Japan almost putting away Manabu Nakanishi with a splash off the top rope.
Oh.
It's mass warfare
That's
now.
throat
Captain
shots.
New Japan putting Liger and Tiger Mask down. Captain New Japan giving up several pounds to Nakanishi, but he's
This
still going to try and pick him
he's-
up for something.
I'm not sure if that's wise.
Oh, but he had some
here
help
we
from
go.
Alma, some double team offense.
But it's not working.
Oh, that's the straight.
Oh!
up and out.
Double Northern Lights! Oh, roll up!
Former Olympic freestyle wrestler Manabu Nakanishi has not lost any of his strength in his lengthy career in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Next year will be his 50th birthday, but he hasn't lost a step. Look at this.
Oh my god.
Putting him in the rack.
Oh, and just slams them down. And it's over.
Manabu Nakanishi scores the pinfall, winning it for his team of Shibata, Liger, and Tiger Mask.
And now,
It looks like Shibata's beating the shit out of Homna.
Oh, why wait until the B block starts to get this rivalry off? So a very entertaining opening.
Of course,
match to start
Honma
this
versus-
first night of the tournament.
yeah. Shibata versus Honma is one of the matches that I'm really looking forward to.
Yes, indeed. It's in a very stacked B block in itself.
Oh yeah. I mean, you have the likes of Kenny Omega, of course Shibata, Honma, the former IWGP Heavyweight Champion Tetsuya Naito, King of Darkness Evil. I mean, it is stacked. Oh jeez.
Both blocks this year are stacked.
Yes, and it's a good thing that they are, because this, of course, is the first year in the G1 Climax in a long time where we haven't had the likes of men like Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, AJ Styles, and one of the franchise players of New Japan Pro Wrestling for over a decade, and himself a former G1 winner, Shinsuke Nakamura. And even without all that star talent that's been lost at the start of this year, they've still managed to put together one heck of a two-block system for this year's Climax.
Oh yeah.
Nakamura said in an interview he left New Japan because he felt it was in a safe place.
But I can tell you what, once Shibata and Hama lock horns for their first match, the ring's not going to be a safe place to be in. That much can be assured. No. Shibata and his
Getting
team,
between them is going to be hard enough. Now, just imagine when they actually have to compete against one another.
Liger making his way back to the back, saluting the fans. This is a wrestler who's had a long and storied career. And even though it is well and truly in its twilight, he's still got plenty left to showcase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's still got plenty of fire.
He's one of the few guys who's aged really well for one of the old school wrestlers.
And now we're
beginning our second match of the afternoon. It is another 20-minute match.
Standard tag team match.
It's a 2-versus-2 showcase. And
one of the competitors, Juice Robinson, is CJ Parker,
who has really built himself in New Japan as one of the young lions.
Yes, he is part of this match, and this is the first team representing Pro Wrestling Noah and making his G1 Climax debut this year is Katsuhiko Nakajima.
Who I am really looking forward to seeing.
He will be partnered with Toru Yano, of course, a mainstay in New Japan Pro Wrestling for many years, and Yano himself, a current and reigning GHC Tag Team Champion in Pro Wrestling Noah. Katsuhiko Nakajima is still only 28 years old, and he's already made a huge name for himself in Pro Wrestling Noah. Former champion kickboxer, a really just deadly striker with some aerial abilities to his game as well. And he's very much a wild card in this B block.
I'm starting to notice that more and more crossover between MMA and wrestling is starting to happen. A lot of wrestlers are starting to have that background.
Making his very first G1 Climax tournament appearance. His first tournament match will be in due time when the B block kicks off. And here is his tag team partner. One of the craftiest, one of the silliest, and one of the most determined competitors in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Buy his bloody DVD.
Buy the DVD, buy the CD.
Buy his DVDs, and he's already brought out a copy along with his GHC Tag Team Championship belt. He's one half of their tag team champs in Noah, along with Naomichi Marufuji.
Who will be competing later on?
Yes, in our main event of the evening. But this is Toru Yano. I think a lot of his silly antics in recent years really kind of overshadowed the fact that he is a legitimate grappler. He's a decorated Greco-Roman wrestler. He himself has won the IWGP Tag Team Championship twice. He's been around for a lot longer than people realize. He's been around for about 15 years. One of the founding members of Chaos. Of course, his entertaining feud with Suzuki-gun over recent years that has gone from New Japan to Pro Wrestling Noah. So Yano and
now
Nakajima.
here comes their opponents.
Yes. So who we're seeing now is a really strong tag team. The man on the left is Juice Robinson, a former WWE NXT trainee. The man on the right was scheduled to compete in the G1 Climax, but gave his spot to his longtime tag partner and best friend, Hiroyoshi Tenzan. That man in the orange, Satoshi Kojima, himself a former IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
And probably one of the harder hitters in New Japan.
The man has had a very established career.
Yep.
Just looking over some of Kojima's accolades, two-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion, 6 times with the tag belts. He won the G1 Climax in 2010 in what was a remarkable return year for him after a decade in All Japan.
Of course, while he was over in All Japan, he became Triple Crown champion. Fuck.
3 times a World Tag Team Champion in All Japan. Won the Champion Carnival in 2003. And Kojima giving his spot in the tournament to Tenzan for his final run in the G1 Climax. So now he is in tag action with Juice Robinson against the team of Katsuhiko Nakajima and the White Trunks and Toru Yano.
2 younger guys teaming with established vets. I like it.
And this is going to be a hard-hitting exchange as well. They lock up, and this second match is underway. Kojima's arm strength, of course, legendary with his devastating lariat. And Nakajima will see his deadly arsenal of kicks, and it begins already.
Of course,
We thought we were going to get a clean break there.
Kojima trained by Stan the Lariat Hansen. Which might explain why his lariat is so deadly.
Oh, discus forearm.
Kojima wrestled in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom 5 back in 2011, defending his IWGP Heavyweight Championship in a losing effort to Hiroshi Tanahashi. But 2010 was especially a really great year for him, coming back to New Japan Pro Wrestling, winning the heavyweight title, winning the G1 Climax, tagging in Juice Robinson now, once known as CJ Parker, and he's really starting to make a name for himself in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yano being oh, there we go. He was taking his time getting into the ring there.
Yano is a master of the mind games. He's crafty, he's experienced, and he can really, really get under your skin.
As you can see.
Yano was in action at this year's Wrestle Kingdom, teaming with the Briscoe brothers in the first ever never 6-man tag team title match. Oh, short jabs from Juice Robinson. Oh, mocking Toru Yano with his signature pose that Yano himself,
Oh.
and ripping off the signature shrug of the shoulders.
Oh. Knock it down, Kojima.
Robinson takes a tumble to the outside, so this one's going to spill to the outside of the ring.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
The turnbuckle pad is coming off. We've seen Yano do that on a number of occasions.
And now this is spilling out into the crowd.
In some respects, the way that Yano Toru kind of bends the rules and pushes the envelope of what's allowed in the ring, it almost kind of reminds you of Eddie Guerrero in his prime.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
That Juice needs to hurry up here and get in the ring. And he does.
Robinson still reeling. Robinson himself still a very young man and still really learning his craft as a pro wrestler and starting to come into his own. And there's the exposed turnbuckle coming into play. As that impact felt right in the spine of Juice Robinson. In some sense,
And Yano just putting the boost to him.
yep, in some respects, this is a New Japan versus Noah exhibition match. We know that Yano is signed to New Japan Pro Wrestling, but he's done most of his work this year in Pro Wrestling Noah, tag teaming with Marufuji, and continuing his long-standing rivalry with the Suzuki Gun faction. And there is a sharp kick to the back from Nakajima and a cover kick out. I'm not even sure if that was a 1 count.
Of course, we're getting a little bit of a taste of Nakajima.
We'll see him, well, more of him later on. Down the road when he competes finally.
Which I think if there are some New Japan Pro Wrestling fans who have not seen Katsuhiko Nakajima's work in Pro Wrestling Noah, I think they're in for a very pleasant surprise. This is somebody who's going to add a lot to this B block, and as I mentioned earlier, still a very young man, 28 years of age, already with a decade of experience in combat sports. Debuted, in fact, at the age of 14 is when he made his pro wrestling debut.
Oh.
And Nakajima just kind of toying around with Juice Robinson, but Robinson not backing down, to his own credit. With a little
Oh,
bit of
he
that
caught
fire
him. He
and
caught him.
spirit. Is he going capture suplex?
Oh!
Really nice for a dude who hasn't been wrestling that long.
And now tags in Kojima. Oh. Oh. Oh no.
Machine gun chops!
Goodness gracious. And every one of those chops.
Gotta
hurts.
believe that's...
Shades of Kenta Kobashi.
yeah.
Flying elbow into the corner. Kojima, one of the all-time greats, but Nakajima stopping his momentum with a kick and one right to the chest.
Jesus.
Bringing him back up here.
Oh, big
Oh,
DDT.
nice DDT.
That'll stop Nakajima's momentum. Kojima trying to pick him up for something here.
And attempted brain buster.
Big dragon,
Dragon
screw.
screw.
Leg whip. And if you can't plant your legs, you may not be able to get all that strength out of your signature move, the lariat.
Koji cutter.
Koji cutter. Juice Robinson shouting words of encouragement. Trying to get his tag partner in, and Robinson comes in with a leap. Big
Well.
clothesline in the corner. Oh!
Cannonball!
Oh,
It's not a big
got
bore
it.
cannonball, but that certainly had a big impact. Gutbuster on the knees.
cover!
Oh, and Yano breaks it up at 2.5.
You gotta believe he does that cannonball as a reference to Kevin Owens, who wrestled his debut match against Robinson.
Oh,
Back in a 3-year tenure
tempted power
in
bomb.
NXT. Oh, big
Yep.
Hurricane Rana counter. Oh, a
Oh.
Holy hell! Starting to like this style he's adopting, this hard-hitting style.
Robinson's still only 26 years of age, and we're seeing him get better every single year he competes. Really starting to make a name
And now,
for himself.
oh,
Oh, but there's a big kick from Nakajima. A very agile competitor.
that is a dog.
The unofficial New Japan Pro Wrestling dog even wants to get in on this action. Kojima very much the ring general in this group. And now he's going to take it to the outside with Robinson. Excuse me, that's Yano.
Robinson's on the inside.
Because I knew I was going to have at least 5 screw-ups this match.
Oh,
Back to the inside now where Robinson and Nakajima continue their match. Big drop kick.
oh,
That's one that Okada would be proud of.
and now,
Oh,
oh,
going for a PK of his own.
maybe trying to send a message to Shibata?
Is he going for the vertical spike?
Oh,
He hits that brain buster. That's gotta
Yeah.
be it. That's gotta
Two.
be it. It is.
it's over!
Katsuhiko Nakajima getting the fall for him and his teammate Toru Yano. They win the match on a devastating vertical spike brainbuster, which I believe we'll probably be seeing more of as he participates in the B block later on in this tournament.
Oh, this B block's getting better and better. It's filled with a lot of hard-hitting guys.
Give credit also
Impressive win.
Give credit also to Juice Robinson, a great showing in this match, along with Satoshi Kojima. And a unified shrug of the shoulders of sorts for Nakajima and Yano. Great effort for the
course,
losing
Juice
team,
Robinson.
even in defeat.
Juice really hung in there.
He absolutely did.
He's starting to look, I will say, he's starting to look more and more at home in a New Japan ring.
Kojima and Robinson walking off to the support of their fans. And now Yano and Nakajima make their way to the back as well. And they will-
Yano power walking up the ramp.
Now the question is Yano going to make a successful sale by the time he gets to the locker room?
Oh, I guarantee. Or he'll just take money out of Robinson's wallet and just leave the DVD lying there.
And that's what we call closing the deal.
Yep.
2 matches into our undercard. We have a couple of more tag team matches coming up.
And then it's all singles competitors from there.
We get our first
A-block
5
action.
matches of the Yep, the first 5 matches. All 10 competitors in the A block will compete tonight. And this will be our 3rd match, featuring a long, ongoing rivalry between Bullet Club and Chaos. The team captain is making his G1 Climax debut this year. He is none other than Kenny Omega. Pairing with a longtime New Japan Pro Wrestling mainstay Yujiro Takahashi. Kenny Omega representing the elite of Bullet Club. And this is a wrestler who has really started to come into his own in the last couple of years. And his popularity is starting to transcend New Japan Pro Wrestling as a whole.
He's getting noticed by a lot of people, and that's a good thing.
A video game streamer. Maybe his best match of the year didn't happen in a wrestling ring. It came when he defeated Xavier Woods in a Street Fighter exhibition match at the CEO tournament in Orlando.
Of course, he lost his IWGP Intercontinental Championship to Michael Elgin in one of the best ladder matches I've seen in a while.
The first New Japan Pro Wrestling ladder match ever.
Yep.
And it was for the Intercontinental belt. Omega could make a real huge impact in this tournament. Takahashi Yujiro, a member of the Bullet Club, the first Japanese member of the company, when he turned on his former Chaos stablemate Kazuchika Okada and helped AJ Styles win the IWGP Heavyweight belt for the first time back in 2014. Omega also made...
Was that AJ?
Yeah, that was Styles' first reign that Takahashi helped accomplish. They will face off against this Chaos team of Yoshihashi and Gato. And Yoshihashi has been kind of struggling in recent years to establish himself as a top player in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but lately it's all started to come around for him. His feud with Sonata was one of the best earlier this year. Yoshihashi, of course, competing in the G1 Climax this year, and he's being brought out to the ring by Gato, one of the founders of Chaos, the manager for Kazuchika Okada, and one of the legends of this business.
A lot of history in coming down to this ring.
Now, of course, Chaos not only feuding with the Bullet Club, but also with Los Ingonables de Japón,
who will have a match after this one. They'll be involved in the six-man tag.
You gotta believe, though, it's commonly said, wherever the Bullet Club leader is, the cleaner, the Young Bucks have to be hiding somewhere.
Oh yes, and that of course came into play in the ladder match where the referee immediately checked under the ring to see if the Young Bucks were there, and sure enough they were, and they were thrown out of the match right on the spot.
But of course that didn't stop him from interfering in the match anyway.
Yes,
Nope, but Elgin had help.
So
Of course, Omega wearing the t-shirt to probably cover the bruising from... bruising and probably some injuries from that ladder match.
Kenny Omega, one of the very few men in professional wrestling who has ever successfully executed a final atomic buster in his time in DDT Pro Wrestling. But no flashy tricks here as Kenny Omega trying to ground Yoshihashi right off the bat.
Of course, Omega wearing basically Young Bucks gear.
Him and his partners, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, make up the elite of the Bullet Club. Omega ascended to the role as the leader of the Bullet Club following AJ Styles' departure, we shall say. So a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Kenny Omega, you might say.
Yeah. And
he's dealing with it well, though.
At the same time, as he made himself leader of the Bullet Club, he transitioned to heavyweight.
Yeah, so Kenny Omega now a full-on heavyweight wrestler. Of course, if you saw how large the man was when he was competing in the junior heavyweight division, you'd figure it was just a matter of time. Oh, goodness, Yoshihashi with some terrific maneuvers.
Good grief.
Yoshihashi joined Chaos after an excursion in Mexico. For a year, he came back at Wrestle Kingdom 6 to New Japan Pro Wrestling, has been a member of Chaos ever since. And he tags
Oh,
in
here comes
Gato,
Gato.
who has wrestled anywhere and everywhere, and really one of the most selfless men in this business.
Oh, no.
Oh, but Omega's got a hold of him by the beard.
Oh,
His
no.
one weakness.
Oh, that's double.
Yeah.
And this may be a glowing endorsement for Gillette. Takahashi Yujiro in this match. He was once a tag team partner with Tetsuya Naito in the group known as No Limit. Mr. Rated R, a much edgier version of Edge's character from way back when.
Alright, Irish whip. Gets the
Omega
boots
gets
up.
involved in this match. Oh. Gato using his veteran craftiness. He took part, of course, in the best of the Super Junior tournament earlier this year. And Gato himself, of course, is not afraid to bend the rules just a bit.
Looks like he was gonna just stomp his balls.
And now just tossing him outside.
So Takahashi clearing house now and taking his fight to the outside. Omega trying to square off with Gato. And playing to the crowd.
He used I think that's a cookie sheet in the corner. Drop Gato.
Oh, goodness.
Back first, right into the apron. And now with
using
the...
that broom. Kenny Omega has... Well, we've seen the depths that this young man will stoop to in competition. And in a way, it's sickly endearing.
Yeah.
Not just that, he's gained a mouth he likes to shoot off.
In many ways, what we're seeing, this current iteration of Kenny Omega reminds a lot of people of the late loose cannon Brian Pillman during the later years of his career in ECW and WWF. Back into the ring now, we have Yujiro Takahashi and Gato squaring off. And Takahashi really in control of this match. Been a long time fixture in the Bullet Club for a couple of years now, and really just one of the most dependable guys on this New Japan roster.
And oh.
I think he's trying to give Gato a little taste of his own medicine. The referee telling him to back off. And he tags in Kenny Omega, who just immediately goes to trying and choke on him with his boot.
Omega's began to get that mean streak. Oh.
Is the shirt coming off?
It's coming off. Wow.
And now he's
choking him with the shirt.
Choking him with the shirt.
Omega has began to gain a bigger and bigger mean streak, I've noticed, as time goes on.
And now... Oh! Stops himself. And now an eye poke.
Oh,
Flatliner.
Great counter by Gato.
Just drop down for it, too.
That's that veteran
Perfect.
experience of Gato coming into play. A man who has been around this business for over 20 years in a number of different promotions, from New Japan to Frontier Martial Arts, and in comes Yoshihashi for the Chaos Squad. Off the ropes. Yoshihashi ducks.
Oh!
Right
That
inside
blockbuster.
Gato. Goodness. Almost going for a stun gun there. What's Yoshihashi got in mind? Kicks Takahashi off the ropes. Lays into him with a
Running
chop.
knife-edge chop.
Picking him up.
Oh.
Neck breaker on Omega. Is that enough? It gets 2. It won't get 3. Crowd really getting behind Yoshihashi. And this is breakout year of 2016.
There's a super kick.
The Young Bucks may not be in action today. Big Tiger
Oh.
suplex. A snap Tiger suplex.
Almost a German.
That's that
'Cause
impressive,
he didn't hook the arms. He threw them.
impressive strength on display by Kenny Omega.
He's freak. Omega for a guy his size is freaky strong.
And he's a young man
now-
who still has, I think, a lot of potential to become a major star in this company.
And now, oh! Nice
Impressive.
double team there.
Yep. Great double team offense. But Takahashi can only get a 1 count on Yoshihashi. Going to pick him up.
And attempted fisherman suplex.
Oh, great counter from Yoshihashi.
That was to the throat.
Yeah, that was a bit of an ugly kick, and that's really going to slow down Takahashi. Tags in Gato. Throwing those
Short jabs.
Omega's going to stop him, though. Gato shrugs him off. Jawbreaker. And a big super kick. And is that going to be enough?
No.
Rips him off the ropes.
Oh.
Takahashi's going to counter.
Whoa.
Oh, so nearly the end for that
Oh.
referee. But Takahashi distracted him enough.
Right to the sternum.
Pair of clotheslines.
And Yoshihashi is feeling it. Gato with a drop toe hold. Is he going to slap in? Oh, no.
No, no,
Takahashi trying for
Oh.
a German suplex.
no.
Gator just throwing arms.
Big lariat.
Jesus.
Drops him. Oh,
Kneeling
Snap.
DDT. That's going to stun Gato. Will it be enough to win the match? It is
it was
not.
almost it. A split second more and he would have lost. And gut wrench.
Oh,
Oh,
goodness.
that may be it.
That is it.
It's over.
Finishes him off with that Dominator-like move. Bullet Club picks up the win. Yujiro Takahashi and Kenny Omega prevailing over the Chaos team of Gato and Yoshihashi. But with Omega and Yoshihashi competing in the B block, their feud is it's far from settled. Bullet Club members holding their hands up high in victory. Not their most nefarious of victories, but probably one that's not going to be well received by some sections of this crowd.
Yeah.
Not just that, you gotta believe Omega's gonna be one of the bigger threats in B block.
And this is G1 Climax debut. After many, many years in the junior heavyweight division, he takes the step up to heavyweight. And that is going to be one of the more interesting angles to follow as the B block starts in just a short amount of time. And a very impressive win for Yujiro Takahashi as well, who is who is himself not in this tournament, but has been in the G1 Climax a number of times. And still a more than serviceable member of the Bullet Club. We still have one more tag team match to go. It is a 6-man tag featuring some members of the New Japan main army and also some members of Los Ingobernables de Japón. And here comes the first team. And if you want to talk about legends of this business, Yuji Nagata, at age 48 earlier this year, won the Never Openweight Championship off of Katsuyori Shibata. He lost it at the next Supercard at the Dominion pay-per-view in Osaka-jo Hall. But Yuji Nagata, he still has plenty left in him. And there is David Finlay, a second-generation wrestler who made his Best of the Super Junior debut earlier this year. He, of course, the son of Dave Finlay Sr., better known as Fit Finlay, one of the toughest men in any wrestling arena.
And this kid's starting to build himself up a impressive resume.
David Finlay had a tough debut appearance and squaring off with Yuji Nagata, who wrestled with his father, Fit Finlay, back in the days of WCW. And their tag partner is somebody who made his New Japan debut at this tournament last year, and in just a short amount of time has really become a huge star in this company. He is unbreakable Michael Elgin, the IWGP Intercontinental Champion.
Won it from Omega in that ladder match, the first ever ladder match in New Japan. Of course, due to Tanahashi gaining an arm injury, it's the only reason he was in that match. But he made the most of it.
Michael Elgin, of course, before then known for his time in the Ring of Honor promotion, had some legendary matches in a short time. Then hit kind of a drop in his career, but his move to New Japan Pro Wrestling has really reinvigorated himself, and the home crowds here have really embraced him. Holding 2 belts as well, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, that's also one of the Never 6-man belts that he's also holding. And they have a tough task ahead of him because they've got to face off against one of the toughest stables that has emerged in New Japan in the last year, Los Ingobernables de Japón.
They have established themselves. They have become so popular, like in such a short amount of time.
And this young man is one of the reasons why. He was once Takaki Watanabe. He is now simply known as Evil.
The King of Darkness.
He aligned himself with Los Ingobernables late last year. He's put on a lot of size, and he had a really great match with Hiroki Goto at Dominion in Osaka-jo Hall this past June. Carrying around that signature scythe. They're due a long entrance, and speaking, and here we're about to see the leader of Los Ingobernables de Japón. In many people's eyes, he may be one of, if not the favorite to advance out of the B block and into the final. Himself, a former G1 Climax champion, Tetsuya Naito.
Was once known as the Stardust Genius, was once a fan favorite, but last year turned his back on the fans when he aligned himself with Los Ingobernables.
Evil is still making his way out to the ring before Tetsuya Naito and his other tag team partner Bushi have made their way out onto the stage.
Make your opponent wait. It's a great strategy. Build it up.
Tetsuya Naito took one of the stunning victories in this tournament in 2013. There is Bushi, the Dark Mask. One of the other members of Los Ingobernables de Japón, himself also a former fan favorite. And represents them in the junior heavyweight division. And just in tow of him is Tetsuya Naito. Naito aligned himself with Los Ingobernables on a months-long expedition in CMLL in Mexico, where he aligned himself with the Los Ingobernables stable that was established there. He came back to New Japan Pro Wrestling just before this tournament and began to really represent Los Ingobernables in Japan. It is where he also developed his more arrogant, his more aggressive persona. And in many ways, it has really reinvigorated his career. For many years, a lot of people thought that he would always be a pretty talented wrestler who just never made his way all the way to the top. And now, here he is, a former IWGP Heavyweight Champion with a very good chance to win it back. And a win at the G1 Climax could really, really help him along in his way. Of course, he's got to face Michael Elgin in that B block.
Who is also one of the odds-on favorites.
Mm-hmm. Because Elgin, he's been on such a tear recently.
And now Naito asking one of the young lions to... I think he may be asking one of them...
I think he may be trying to get in the referee's face. Naito has been very, very intimidating. He's really made life difficult from some of New Japan's referees and top executives.
More specifically, the owner of New Japan Pro Wrestling proceeds to claim that he is protecting Kazuchika Okada.
That will be one of the more interesting feuds going on. Tetsuya Naito, captain of this Los Ingobernables trio. Michael Elgin and Yuji Nagato kind of co-captains of this New Japan Army squad. It's a 6-man tag. It is our last tag match before we get into the A-block matches.
I don't think Dave Finley's tans too much, considering he's almost as white as the t-shirt.
David Finley, of course, a very international wrestler. His father, of course, a Northern Irish wrestling legend. He himself born in Germany and lives in the United States.
And trained in the New Japan dojo.
And surprisingly enough, it will be the second-generation wrestler David Finley who gets the start against Tetsuya Naito. So this could be a big chance for Dave Finley to showcase his abilities early on in this match. And if he can ground Tetsuya Naito even for just a bit, that'll go a long way towards his wrestling future.
Oh.
Now it will be Bushi taking his place. Bushi and David Finley were part of the Best of the Super Juniors tournament earlier this year, won by Kushida. David Finley got a chance to make his debut when both of the Young Bucks suffered separate injuries at around the same time that rendered them unable to compete in the tournament. And that's how Dave Finley got it. And there's Bushi with the head games.
Oh. Here we go, side headlock. Into the ropes. Jumps over Finley. Finley jumps over Bushi. Drop kick.
Bushi is no slouch either. He has been a fixture in the junior heavyweight division for a little under a decade now.
Evil.
Oh, and Evil coming to play by taking the feet out from under Finley. And Los Ingobernables de Japón beginning to take control of this match by nefarious means.
Evil was a big dude.
He put on a lot of size
Yeah.
before aligning himself with Los Ingobernables de Japón, a former New Japan Young Lion.
And oh no.
Oh!
Oh. That could have been a lot uglier.
Evil known for using those chairs in very, very bad ways. We get back to this match of the junior heavyweights in the ring. The young Dave Finlay and the slightly more experienced Bushi. And Bushi has control of Finlay in this match.
Using the t-shirt.
And now tags in Evil.
Makes the tag to Evil, who has been one of the breakout stars of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And we talked earlier about some of the excursions of talent that have happened earlier this year. How is New Japan Pro Wrestling going to fill those holes in talent?
Oh!
Well, it's going to come from young wrestlers like Evil to make an immediate impact for their respective stables. And he's doing just that as he's just taking it to David Finlay.
You gotta
Just
believe they
stomping
took out the
away
other
on
two
them.
because, well, Elgin is very dangerous, as we've seen.
As well as Yuji Nagata.
Yeah, Nagata, especially his submissions. You can break somebody in half.
And now here comes the captain.
Tetsuya Naito, who knows that he is talented, but would rather take a breather and take a little nap in the middle of the match. Oh, spit in the face. He's gone from somewhat antagonistic to downright dastardly just in the last year alone. But David Finlay is holding his own in this match. Great double team offense. Sunset flip into a drop kick. Going for the
Nicely
first cover
done
of the
there.
match. To Elgin pulling the feet out from under Naito and breaking the pin.
Alright.
Big double team maneuver incoming.
Gets
Finlay
out of
lands
it.
on his feet.
Oh,
Trips up Evil, but Finlay with a big back
beautiful.
elbow. And we're starting to see...
Nagata.
Oh, goodness. And here comes the veteran Yuji Nagata. 48 years old this year. And earlier this year, held the Never Open Weight Championship, winning it off of Katsuyori Shibata.
Nagata very dangerous in that ring. Just because of his experience alone. Alongside, well, his overwhelming Jesus.
Big suplex with the release. 1, 2. I mean, just in the last couple of years alone, Yuji Nagata has won the New Japan Rumble at Wrestle Kingdom. He's had 2 very, very solid matches with Minoru Suzuki. A true
And he is still going strong.
One of the true strong style competitors. Very well versed in striking and submissions. And he knows a ton of them. Naito taking a little rest after successfully countering Nagata's offense.
Oh. He is really not winning any fans here tonight. Oh, look at this!
Beautiful. Tornado DDT using the ropes to really get that height and spin over.
Yes, indeed.
Now just shoving the ref.
Tetsuya
And now-
Naito, Evil, Yuji Nagata, and Michael Elgin will all be in the B block of the G1 Climax. There's a big enziguri from Naito.
And oh. Attempted German. Oh!
Counters with a suplex of his own.
And now Nagata tags in Big Mike.
Big Michael Elgin.
Oh, here we go. 2 Mack trucks with a jet engine strapped to him.
Michael Elgin, one of the breakout competitors in New Japan Pro Wrestling in the last year.
Oh my god!
Goodness.
Just threw a beautiful enziguri, too.
Oh.
Michael Elgin first came to fame with a terrific match against Davey Richards, himself a former New Japan Junior Tag Champion. They had a match for the ROH World Heavyweight title that really brought Elgin into kind of the picture as one of the top talents on the independent scene for a number of years. There's a big Falcon Arrow, a cover, and a 2 count only. But that match really established Michael Elgin at first. But this run that he's having in New Japan Pro Wrestling, the fans have really gotten behind him. It of course helps that he's aligned himself with the likes of Hiroshi Tanahashi. We're seeing Michael Elgin at his absolute best.
Oh. He was trying to go for a power bomb there.
Evil gets him up on his feet. And Michael Elgin is no small man, so that's an impressive feat.
Elgin going for that German.
Big elbow strike.
Crack.
Fisherman suplex with the release.
It's almost a fisherman brainbuster.
And now maybe trying to tag in Bushi here?
And that's exactly what he does. Bushi bringing the quickness to this match. And that's exactly what he does with a drop kick off the
rope.
Jesus Christ!
Beautiful kip up. And now just kind of...
He's antagonizing a bear. I wouldn't do that, Bushi.
But see, this isn't smart strategy because he's trying to win a strength war with Michael Elgin that maybe in the back of his mind he knows he cannot win.
Oh, it's got him up.
Got him pressed up.
Oh my God!
That is the strength of Michael
hand.
Elgin. Gorilla press slam. But here comes Naito, and he thumbs the eyes. Eye rake. Back rake.
And now, oh my goodness. Oh no.
He's got Evil up. He's got Naito up.
The strength of
Big
Big Mike.
Oh my God!
No bounce.
Slam. And
Elgin
Now
is
tags
crazy
in Finley.
strong.
Michael Elgin's strength is something. It almost kind of reminds you of a wrestler like a Scott Norton or a Dr. Death Steve Williams.
I've seen the comparisons to Dr. Death.
Rolling fireman's carry
And-
from Finley
oh.
only gets a 2.
Of course, the rolling fireman's carry was one of his father's signature maneuvers.
Oh. Attempted German. And
Big drop kick from Bushi. Could the junior heavyweights end it here? They're really getting after it. Ducks the enziguri.
Oh.
Stretch muffler. Naito breaks up the hold, and now it's descended into chaos. Even though they're not in the match.
Yep.
And now, double knees. Oh.
Cradle.
Oh.
Nope.
That one will put him down. Will it be enough? No.
Elgin.
Throwing him back outside.
Tell you what,
Oh, somebody went in the guardrail.
now Nagata taking the fight to Tetsuya Naito on the outside. Bushi signaling for something off the second rope. Misses, rolls through it. Elgin shoulder blocks him into oblivion.
And now, oh, drops him.
Evil dropping Yuji Nagata with an elbow strike. David Finlay coming after Evil, though. He's not backing down.
There's no fear in this kid.
I'll tell you what, we're seeing a breakout
And now
performance for
Naito.
Dave Finlay.
Oh,
Into
nice
the
double
top.
team.
It's got to be over.
That surely is it. No!
Oh
Finlay
no,
kicking
it's
out.
not.
Showing a glimpse of that toughness that made his father so legendary.
Finlay, of course, very famous for coming in to his own
Oh,
in the WWE very late
From
in
the
his
middle
career.
rope.
From the middle rope. Will that be enough? It is.
Good night.
Double knee facebuster from the second rope, and Bushi takes the win for his Los Ingobernables stable, and this fight isn't over because
No, it's
Tetsuya
not.
Naito has Yuji Nagata in a leg lock, and now he's mocking him with that salute. Oh,
This is
goodness.
completely broken down.
What's going to happen when they face off in their round-robin tournament match later on?
Oh, Naito's going to be looking for retribution. Or Nagata's going to be looking for retribution.
That much can be said in Nagata's 19th appearance in the G1 Climax tournament.
Nagata's going to be looking for retribution, and Elgin's going to be looking to take his head off.
So we have seen most of the competitors who will take part in this tournament in a little bit of preliminary action. Their G1 Climax will begin the next day, day 2 of this tournament. And it's going to be a stacked field.
Of course,
Elgin, Nagata,
Nagata
and Finlay,
holding on to that leg.
Yes, and that leg severely damaged. That may come into play in his first tournament match.
You know Naito's going to be looking for anyway.
Oh,
And now just continuing to mock the veteran.
Naito's going to be looking for any way
typical
to
Naito.
take advantage.
And he
The
may
thing is, he won't have his buddies there when Elgin and Nagata get their hands on him.
No, indeed, and that will be something to look out for. But I do feel like Tetsuya Naito has to be one of, if not the favorites, to advance out of this B block, and he'll try his way to get there by hook and by crook. That much can be certain.
Yeah. The dude's crafty. I'll give him that much.
He's crafty, and he really doesn't need to resort to all that kind of garbage. He is a very talented wrestler, no doubt about it. But when he starts to push the envelope and bend the rules and get his friends involved, that gives him a bit of an unfair advantage. Los Ingobernables de Japón making their way to the back after a victory. I tell you what, I also wouldn't discount Evil's chances in this tournament. This could be a big breakout performance for him. It's his first G1 Climax tournament appearance as well. Los Ingobernables de Japón, perhaps the top breakaway faction in New Japan Pro Wrestling at the moment. Winning their match today. We're at the Hokkaido Prefectural Sports Center in Hokkaido, Japan, the northern island of the many chain of islands. And we're at the point now where we get
Now,
to
of course,
our
the show is
first
going into
5
intermission.
tournament matches in the G1 Climax. Yes. So again, it's a single round robin tournament. 10 wrestlers will all get to face one another at least once. And the wrestler with the most points at the end of the round robin will advance to the final match at the end of the tournament, representing their respective block. Taking a look at our G1 Climax 26 competitors. Of course, the customary pre-G1 Climax press conferences. Kazuchika Okada, the reigning IWGP Heavyweight Champion, making his remarks. Going for his third G1 Climax victory, only Hiroyoshi Tenzan and Masahiro Chono have matched 3 victories in this tournament. So many decorated champions on this panel. I don't know whether Shibata was just asleep or deep in concentration. Hiroshi Tanahashi, the defending champion of this event.
Making his return, of course, after his injury.
Tanahashi has been through the wars. He's racked up a number of injuries, and he still gives 100% in every match that he competes in. He may be the greatest of all time in this promotion.
And I would not argue with that. Speaking of
which, one of the greatest of all time for his promotion, the franchise of pro wrestling, Naomichi Marufuji, has wrestled as a junior heavyweight, has wrestled as a full-on heavyweight. A protege of the late, great Mitsuhara Misawa, the founder of Pro Wrestling Noah. And this could be a big performance for him. Okada versus Marufuji is our main event. And what a dream match that will be. The favorite in the B block, Tetsuya Naito. Has really made life difficult for New Japan Pro Wrestling owner Takaki Kadani in recent months, especially during his reign as heavyweight champion.
See Ishii in the background?
Just completely stone-faced, like a true stone pitbull.
of course, Naito made claims that Kadani was protecting Kazuchika Okada, saying that he is a $250,000 investment, as he's made multiple appearances on television and all sorts of media.
And that has led Tadaki Higani to hire a bodyguard from the world of mixed martial arts, Shinya Aoki, a name a lot of fans of Pride Fighting Championships will recognize. A very experienced MMA fighter in his own right.
Excellent submission artist.
And as Naito makes his remarks during the press conference, we get a glimpse of Hiroyoshi Tenzan, one of the stories of this tournament. Will this 20th and final tournament be perhaps his greatest? He's going for a 4th victory in this tournament. Naito sure has a lot to say.
Yeah.
And here are some remarks from the soon-to-be retiring in his 20th appearance in this tournament, Hiroyoshi Tenzan, a winner in 2003, 2004, and 2006.
One of those he did as IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
Really one of the top stars through, as it was mentioned, the mid-2000s, not one of New Japan's top periods in terms of popularity and success, but Tenzan has been a rock for this company for nearly 25 years. Okada and the rest of the gang answer questions from the press. I have a feeling we will not be seeing Kenny Omega's comments on the press conference that have made their way around Twitter, as entertaining as they are.
I don't think I've seen those.
It was hilarious. So we have all of our main players: Okada, Marufuji, Tenzan, Tanahashi, and Naito. And there are 15 others in this tournament who could be very real threats to win. Of course, the way the cards fall, some of these competitors will have very tough tournaments. They may go on a bit of a losing streak that will take them right out of contention. Such is the nature of the G1 Climax tournament. It's ultra competitive. It is all of these great wrestlers at their best. It is the most prestigious wrestling tournament in the world. One that provides a #1 championship contender's opportunity at Wrestle Kingdom, the biggest show of the year, on January 4th in the Tokyo Dome.
Of course, with the G1 Climax, you pretty much have to be at 110%, like, all throughout. Like, you do not want to give a single inch. Otherwise, you're going to fall flat.
You don't want to give away matches, and you'll also need to be mindful to take care of yourself, because there have been in recent years wrestlers who have lost out on opportunities because of a freak injury during the middle of their tournament run.
One of them, of course, being Shinsuke Nakamura, who I believe was out with a shoulder injury as well.
It's happened again.
And so he pretty much had to... It's happened to Yano. What are their names?
Of course, Tenzan has been injured during the middle of a tournament run. Of course, a couple of years ago, Kota Ibushi, another big star that is not in the tournament this year, he suffered a concussion that ultimately resulted in Tomoaki Honma getting his spot in the tournament. We are about ready to start the first match of this tournament. On commentary on the Japanese broadcast side for New Japan World, Jushin Thunder Liger, himself a pretty good commentator in his own right, it must be said. I believe that is Milano Collection AT, a very decorated wrestler in his truncated career, on his right, excuse me. And we are set to begin this first match in due time. Crowd making their way to their seats to get ready for the second half of the show. Here's a look at the matches. There's your matches. Tenzan versus Ishii. Tama Tonga versus Makabe. Bad Luck Fale versus Goto. Tanahashi versus Sanada. In a much anticipated match, Okada versus Marufuji, our main event for the night.
A lot of these matches have a lot of hard hitters. Especially the Tonga Makabe match and the Tenzan Ishii match. Fale Goto's probably going to be a brawl, if not just two big guys beating the shit out of each other. The Tanahashi Sanada
Yes.
match is going to probably be the quickest out of the matches. Both of them moving quite quick.
Oh, yeah. It definitely has the potential of being one of the best matches of the night.
Yeah.
Of course, we will see many Match of the Year candidates throughout wrestling just within this 4-week span of the tournament. Jushin Liger giving his thoughts on how he feels this A block will pan out. Remember, in this tournament, points are scored on a scoring system much like that in hockey. You get 2 points for a win and 1 point for a draw. No points, obviously, for a loss. The origins of the G1 Climax date back to 1974, with the original World League won by Antonio Inoki. There's been the MSG League, the International Wrestling Grand Prix, And then in 1991, the first G1 Climax won by Masahiro Chono, the only 5-time winner of this event.
Of
Of course, that tournament had both Vader and the man who would eventually become the Great Muta.
Yeah, Keiji Muto.
Which faced off in round 1.
Muto won that tournament in 95. Just going through some of the other names that have won it. Tatsumi Fujinami, a WWE Hall of Famer. Riki Choshu won it twice. Shinya Hashimoto, one of the all-time greats, won it. Kensuke Sasaki is a former champion, a former 2-time champion, in fact. And we have so many names who have won this tournament in the past that are going for another victory. Nagata, Tenzan, Tanahashi, Goto, Makabe, Okada, Naito. But for the first time in a while, Shinsuke Nakamura, a former winner in 2011, not part of this tournament, of course.
Alongside AJ Styles, Gallows, Anderson.
Kota Ibushi.
Kota Ibushi, mainstays within New Japan, gone. But as we stated before, they've recovered extremely well.
Yes, we have a lot of great wrestlers in this tournament making their G1 Climax debut. Very young wrestlers with something to prove, and they will, I think, admirably fill the voids left by those departing superstars.
Yeah.
And it's looking to be a wide open field. I know a lot of people have already picked their favorites. There are some favorites that stand out, but behind them, it is anyone's ball game behind that. And we're due for some. We're also due for some upsets. Make no mistake about it. So
this is going to be a very interesting G1.
Indeed, Caleb. Your thoughts on
Yes.
who will come out on top of this A block?
All right, my thoughts on A block. I mean, there are a lot of interesting names. You know, of course, there's Kazuchika Okada, there's Hiroshi Tanahashi, like many big names. But if I had to pick somebody to make it to the finals, I would have to pick. I would say Okada.
Going with the 2-time G1 Climax winner and the defending IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Blake, this is a very stacked block from top to bottom. Who do you think will take
I have both blocks in front of me. I gotta say, it's wide open. It's really a couple of them, Tanahashi and Okada. Those two are probably going to come in close, if not tie. Fuji, Fale, Goto, Ishii, guys like that, those guys have had hell of years last year and a half. Ishii's probably had one of the best years I've ever seen him have. Do I think he'll take it? Maybe, but I honestly think it's going to be either Tanahashi or Okada.
I think I personally would not be surprised if Okada came out of this A block as the representative in the G1 Climax Finals. Of course, there are some other stories to follow. Of course, the 20th and final tournament appearance for Tenzan, and you know, with that pressure on him, he's going to perform at a level that many people have not seen in a number of years. That is something to follow. He may come close. I don't know if he will prevail on top, but that is a storyline that should definitely be followed over the course of these 4 weeks that make up the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
In a number of different arenas, this G1 Climax will play itself out. We'll travel several times to the famous Korakuen Hall in Tokyo. Travel all over Japan.
And of course, with the A block, B block, and the grand finals being in the Ryogoku Budokan. So
our expert panel on New Japan Pro World gives their thoughts on all the different matches. Remarking this time about the Tenzan versus Ishii match that will kick off this block.
That match, Tenzin's going to come in looking to prove himself. Ishii is looking to take this tournament as early as possible. He wants to hit the ground running and just keep going. Tenzin, he wants one last run. And we're finally going to see what happens when just two big guys who are so good at their respective styles clash.
Tama Tonga versus Togi Makabe, the second match of this tournament. Tonga, a former tag champion with the Gorillas of Destiny, with himself and his brother. Makabe himself, a former winner and another hard-hitting individual with a lot of experience on his side.
Yeah, I honestly think Tonga's gonna have a tough time, even if he turns it into a drag-out brawl like he likes to do. He's gonna have a tough time countering that experience.
Bad Luck Fale versus Hiroki Goto. That has the potential to be a troublesome matchup for Hiroki Goto, as Fale has played spoiler on a number of occasions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tanahashi versus Sanada, I think a match a lot of people are looking forward to. Tanahashi, the veteran ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Sanada himself, very experienced. The bell has rung to signal the end of the intermission period. And this first match of the G1 Climax 26 is about to get underway in short order.
Here we go.
There will be many Western viewers who will lose countless hours of sleep trying to keep up. And this match has the potential to be one of the toughest and hardest matches around. Tomohiro Ishii making his way to the ring first. He was on the losing side of history last time around when he gave Tomoaki Honma his first G1 Climax victory. Very first victory after losing out in 2014 entirely. And Honma picking up his first win on Ishii, who has gone on to have quite a year. Entering Wrestle Kingdom 10 as the never openweight champion, which he has won 4 times in his career. And he really has come to personify the style of wrestling that the never openweight championship has become to be associated with. It is strong style to its absolute maximum. Ishii has battled off a number of different injuries to get to this point in his career.
Probably his best point at this time. He's hit his stride and he's found his place within New Japan. But Ishii being Ishii, he's always hungry for more. He's going to be looking to try to take this tournament. The thing is, he's in A block and it's a hell of a stacked group.
It absolutely is. Ishii, also a former Ring of Honor World Television Champion earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
Losing that to Bobby Fish.
Yeah, one of the bigger shockers of the year.
There are wrestlers who have attained a legendary status in their tenure in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Some will move on after a few years and achieve greatness in other fields. Some will stay with the company for many, many years and decades. Hiroyoshi Tenzan has been with New Japan for the better part of 25 years. This is his 20th, and what will be his final appearance in the G1 Climax tournament. His spot in the tournament was given to him by the friend of his on his right, Satoshi Kojima. They, of course, have made a great tag team for the better part of 15 years.
Of course, Tenzin, for people unfamiliar, is the creator of the Anaconda Vice. A move made famous in the western side of the world by CM Punk.
Tenzan, the innovator of that move, he has also amplified it with a Cobra Clutch variant that he calls the Anaconda Max. Known for his devastating overhand chops. As well, he is a hard hitter. He is a submission specialist. He is one of the legends. The road to his final G1 Climax destiny begins right now.
And boy, does he have a rough start to it.
Oh, God, yeah. He's looking at probably one of the hardest hitting guys in New Japan right now.
This is one way to start it off. He has Satoshi Kojima in the corner, the man who was originally supposed to compete in this tournament in his place. But when Kojima found out that Tenzan was not going to be a part of what would have been his 20th Climax, Kojima gave his spot in the tournament away to Tenzan. This match now underway, and they lock horns. These are two big bulls. Tenzan, a bit of a bigger bull, as Ishii gives up a lot of stature, but probably not a lot of strength.
But as we've learned in the past, it doesn't matter about the size; it matters about the heart and the fight within the guy.
Attempted shoulder blocks. Oh, try going for Mongolian chops.
Blocks the blocked the Mongolian chop. Tenzan with a bit of a shoulder block of his own. And Tenzan really grounding Tomohiro Ishii. Tenzan, 45 years of age. His pace has slowed down a bit, but he is still more than capable of taking the fight to anybody in this New Japan roster. Exchanging forearms and elbows.
Oh, here we go.
Fights back with a Mongolian chop of his own, coming right down on the shoulders.
Ishii, though, he's moving into it, which absorbs a lot of the impact. But it's with Tenzan's chops that not helping.
Alright.
Tenzan has Ishii down.
Oh.
Ishii just wanting some more of it. Wanting to dole out the harshness. And the crowd really getting behind Hiroyoshi Tenzan.
But Ishii's looking to play spoilers.
Ishii with a big shoulder block of his own.
Just runs over Tenzan.
Every one of his strikes, all those shoulder blocks, the lariats, the kicks, the headbutts, these are lethal weapons from the body of Tomohiro Ishii.
Chop to the throat.
Ishii has had some legendary wars with the likes of Katsuyori Shibata, Tomoaki Oma just in the last couple of years. And consider he's about in his 40s now, an age where most wrestlers begin to slow down. Ishii is showing no signs of it.
If not, he's found his second wind. Really rejuvenated his career.
And now,
consider all the injuries that is racked up with this physical style of wrestling. He is
Yeah.
the hitman of chaos. He is the stone pitbull.
Oh,
and
the
he may be
strength.
going for an Ishii driver.
oh,
Instead, a vertical suplex will suffice. Gets a 2 count. In a few ways, he almost reminds you of Taz back in his prime in ECW. Very short in stature, but very, very strong, and a very deadly competitor.
Mm-hmm.
Probably
Now-
not, probably not as much of a miserable son of a gun. And now Ishii just stamping on the neck. With those little bitty kicks.
trying to
almost
wake
seems
him
like
up.
he was trying to play with him a little bit.
Couple of devastating forearm strikes. Oh, and he really comes in.
Oh,
those.
here
On
we
firing
go.
back with forearms of his own.
Oh, Mongolian chop.
And a big wheel kick. Spinning wheel kick from Tenzan.
Oh.
Oh no, don't tell me. Ah, shit.
Hang on. But let's just stop the recording. We'll just make a part 2.
Yeah, tune in for part 2.